Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. We're out here at Computex 2023 checking out the Lian Li booth. Lots of cool new refreshes, lots of cool new little LCD things. But before we check everything out, here's a few words from this year's Computex sponsors. Let's get into it. Brah!
Our Computex Taipei 2023 coverage is proudly brought to you by ASUS and ROG, the Republic of Gamers. You can find links to their products in the video description.
One thing that's been missing from the Lian Li lineup for the last few years, and a lot of other manufacturers have been jumping on this, is LCD screens on their coolers. Here we have the Lian Li Galahad LCD. It's an Acertec based pump. It's got a screen which apparently you can put whatever you like in it, but I guess we'll just have to wait for our one to come later on. So make sure you're subscribed because we will be doing lots of builds, probably an install guide and everything to see how this all works together. But that's only one part of the story here at the booth. Over the last few years, the O11 has been the dominant case from Lian Li. But they're ready to change how you think about cases, and they want to move a bit away from the O11. Here we have the brand new SUP O1. It is a new case that allows you to install the GPU at the front of the case, changing the internal layout. And what Lian Li is saying is, you know, if you really want to change the internal layout of a case, the best way to do it is to use a riser cable, and they've done just that. What do I mean by that? Well, not only can you install it in the configuration that we see here, you can move it all around. As well as that, they've decided to move the cooling to the back side of the case. So if we just pop around and have a look at the back here, they've got all the exhaust for the SUP O1 on the back, and what it's doing is it's pulling air in from the back of the case. It's got a thin airflow channel and pushing it all out. And what that does is it separates the air into separate chambers. We've seen this with some small form factor cases. Some sandwich cases kind of do this as well. But this is a step in the right direction, doing something new. And that's something I can definitely get behind. And for those who want to look at themselves or their components, they have a passive bit of aesthetics, right? Usually it's about lighting. There's a little mirror in the bottom, so if you really wanted to look at yourself, you could. Over the last few years, a few new bits of technology have been developing. One of them is fans done different. What does that mean? Well, traditionally with Uni Fans, they're in this daisy chain configuration. Although it's digital RGB, it's just analog. There's no way for a frame like this to detect whether or not it's going to have 5 or 6 fans in a single configuration. They're moving to a system that works kind of like what Corsair's doing. Make sure you subscribe, you're going to check that out. It works like a network, so every individual device knows what it is, it's aware of itself, and it can be controlled completely individually. They've got a little bit of a demo to show you how this works. So we've got these 3 PWM fans at the back, and if you look closely, probably doesn't come out on camera, but they're all operating at 3 different RPMs. The center one is set to 0 and 2 other RPMs, but you get the idea, right? Individually controllable devices on a digital network. This is something that is going to be huge for people who want control over everything individually. We will be seeing more of this in the future, and Lian Li's jumping aboard that train. This is for people who want the ultimate customization with their PC. Check this out, right? They have fans now with screens in the middle of each of the fan hubs. What they're saying is you will be able to customize these to a degree. Whether or not you're going to be able to put videos on them individually, they don't know yet. But every time we see something like this from Lian Li at Computex, it becomes real. Like with the Uni Fans in 2019, it was a concept. It's real. It's more real than it's ever been. This is something I've seen so many comments about. When are Lian Li going to do reverse pitch fan blades? Doing it now. They're going to be on these brand new Lian Li fans with the screens on the hubs. They're literally, look at this, right? They're called new Uni Fan series. They don't have a name. All of the new stuff with it running like a network is all well and good, but it needs hardware to support it. And this is where the new controller comes in. This is a prototype. This will allow for up to 16 fans to be connected to it and to power all of them. Corsair, that's 2 more fans than your new system. Thought it was worth mentioning. We'll probably have a Corsair video out at around about the same time. It's up to you guys to decide which one you think is better. Not only do you need a new controller, you need the software to support it as well. And Lian Li has said they're committed to making their software the best yet. Only one way to find out, that's to be patient and wait. Check this out, there is a new O11, believe it or not, it's called the O11 Vision. This one is a little bit of a collaboration. So rather than me talking about the collaboration, let's have the man behind the collaboration talk about the case for himself. Mr. Pedro PCMR himself.
Hey everyone. What do you think? What do you think of this beauty?
I really like the seamless glass. This is a bit of a trend that we're seeing this year at Computex, not just with Lian Li, but with a lot of case vendors. And personally, it is something I can definitely get behind. What inspired you to get involved with a project like this?
I mean, the PCMR community, of course, is so passionate about PCs. And when someone like Lian Li approached us, I mean, this isn't the first time we've done a collab with them a really cool collab a few years ago for a limited edition. This is not going to be a limited edition, so it's even more special because of that. But like, it's an O11. It's one of the most, maybe the most influential cases of the last few years. And it's something that I think defines the PCMR community in a way. People sometimes say there's a lot of O11s, but it's for a reason. I mean, it's beautiful, it's great to build in, and we felt a need to make it even more special. Of course, this is not a full performance-oriented case, because otherwise it will just be mesh everywhere. But with PC, I think the beauty about PC is the freedom to create something that makes sense to you. And this is a case that's for someone who wants to make it like a showpiece, like the center of your gaming battle station, so glass top, front, side, no columns, no pillars, a lot of versatility, still a lot of intake, a lot of air going through the case, even though there's glass everywhere. So that's really cool. You can actually put a 240mm rad on the back. So that's really cool.
I like that.
That's awesome. Even though you don't do front intake, you can do a lot of good cooling in this case. And I mean, it's all about the top glass. And if you look from below, you can actually see it's reflective. So if they're in lower light conditions, it really is like a showpiece. It's like the center of your gaming battle station. I love it.
I dig it. This is probably one of the better looking O11 variants, and our audience knows how I feel about the O11 already. Not my favorite case, but I like you. And this is actually probably the best variant. It looks the best, and as Pedro said, this one is designed to be beautiful, to inspire you guys to build beautiful PCs of your own. Something that I've been seeing you guys ask about quite a lot is an O11 Evo XL. And coming round, right round, baby, right round, is the O11 Evo XL. Now, this will allow us to install 420mm radiators everywhere. You heard that right. Absolutely everywhere. You're not going to have any clearance issues. If you want a big and thick boy, the O11 XL is going to be the way to do it this year. You know why, Claire? You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Right round, right round. That's how we get past the copyright. Sometimes we come to these things and I see another O11 refresh and I don't get too excited. If you already have an O11, you don't need this. I'm being absolutely honest. You do not need the O11 Evo RGB. Flat out. There's a reason for it. It's only slight changes inside and a little bit of RGB and pushing the hard drive tray out and the power supply out that really make a difference. So if you're going to be building a new PC, yeah, you can if this is the case you're going for, but if you've already got an Evo, I wouldn't bother. But I thought it was worth mentioning for those people out there who don't, because a lot of people do have these cases.
But Nick, look, it's got RGB. That's new. That's new.
I don't
RGB.
care about RGB.
Dude, RGB. Come on.
I don't know what you're saying.
RGB the world.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's on O11.
No.
You have to buy it.
I don't want it.
Yeah, but
I'm sure people will want it, but it's a refresh. Refreshes are good, I suppose, right? Well, that's unnecessarily big. And on that note, that's going to wrap it up for our Computex 2023 coverage of the Lian Li stuff that you may or may not be interested in. Lots of cool stuff. For me personally, the O11 Vision is looking really interesting for a couple of reasons. I didn't really touch on this, but 240mm rad on the back for a case that is focused on looks. That's good. So Pedro, I know you're a friend. I think you did good, mate. And there he is over there. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, if you liked the video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, all that boring stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with GearSeekers here live at Computex 2023. You peak. We see. Wow, this thing is so big. Look at the size of it. It's built so well. I kind of like it. I would have nowhere to put this thing though. Wow, let us know what you guys think. Wow, this is something else. Kind of unnecessary, but cool. What is going on here? What is this? What is this thing? What is this thing? It's freaking out because it wants to go around me. No, no, no.